A colleague promises they're going to have their part of a project to you by Tuesday.
Well, it's Thursday, and nothing has arrived. You literally need their work to finish yours. But you don't want to start a conflict, right? So you say nothing. Then, Friday arrives. And now? The entire team is late.
Which brings up a really important question. Is avoiding an uncomfortable conversation really being a good teammate? I mean, we've all been there. We convince ourselves that staying silent out of fear of conflict is somehow protecting workplace harmony. We worry that holding someone accountable is just going to make them defensive or angry or embarrassed. We don't want to make people feel that way, so we procrastinate. We just keep pushing the discomfort down the road. But as we just saw with our Friday deadline disaster, this kind of conflict avoidance doesn't save the team at all. It actually sabotages it.
Let's look at the real cost of silence here, because it's essentially a downward spiral. The reality is, letting things slide is absolutely not in the team's best interest. It severely weakens your team's effectiveness if delays, subpar work, or just dodging commitments becomes the new normal. And here's the real danger. Tolerating this creates a ripple effect. When you stay quiet, other team members start lowering their own standards. They start thinking, well, if they don't have to do it, why should I? So that fake harmony you thought you were protecting, it's really just latent tension. And trust me, everyone can feel it.
So, how do we actually fix this? We need a solid framework to reframe these interactions. We need to shift them from relationship-damaging conflicts to constructive teamwork. And it all centers around a core accountability loop. It's pretty straightforward. A commitment is made, it's missed, we address it, we agree on an action, and then we follow up. This loop isn't a punishment. It's actually a sign of respect. It shows you expect good work from your teammates. Over the next few minutes of this explainer, we're going to break down 5 practical actions you can use to master this loop without ruining your workplace relationships. All right, action 1, don't wait too long.
The absolutely crucial point here is that you have to act quickly. Address miscommitments before the consequences grow. Delaying the conversation doesn't magically make the problem disappear, it just makes the whole thing way more awkward and allows the negative consequences to snowball. Think back to that opening story. By waiting until Friday, a simple missed deadline morphed into a team-wide failure. The longer you wait, the harder it is to pull things back on track.
Moving right along to action 2, focus on the commitments. If you want to maintain trust, you absolutely must separate the work from the person. That means staying entirely on topic, focusing on the business at hand, and relying on objective data and observation. You want to discuss what was actually agreed upon rather than getting personal. If you attack a colleague's personality with statements like, you're always so disorganized, you're regressing into unprofessional behavior. And guess what? The other person is instantly going to get defensive. For sure.
Instead, ground the conversation in undeniable facts. Use exact phrasing like, the deadline for your input was Tuesday and I haven't received it. Notice how objective that is. It completely removes your subjective feelings and opinions from the equation. It simply states the reality of the miscommitment. This gives the other person literally zero reason to feel personally attacked.
Let's move to our next step. Action 3. Be specific. You have to pinpoint the exact observable problem. Avoid those vague accusations. Saying something like, you're unreliable or your work is confusing is completely unhelpful. I mean, what can a colleague actually do with that feedback? Nothing, right? Except feel insulted. Contrasting a vague, aggressive insult with a specific observation shows exactly how to keep a disagreement constructive. Describe the observable problem instead. Say, I haven't received the required document. The more specific you are, the easier it is for them to just fix it.
Which brings us to action 4, be direct and respectful.
This is where you actually make your request. You need to clearly ask for what you need to move forward. This leaves absolutely no room for misinterpretation, while still respecting your colleague. Listen to how direct this is. I need your input today. Can you send it by 3 o'clock? It's not a soft suggestion. It's definitely not a passive-aggressive hint. It is a clear, respectful request for action. In effective teams, being straightforward and candid isn't rude. It's essential for getting the job done.
It's like you're walking a tightrope here. You're trying to balance maintaining trust while addressing the very necessary conflicts of your job. The common purpose of your team should always drive your actions, even if it risks a moment of interpersonal discomfort. But if you can maintain trust and stay on topic, you won't fall off the wire.
And finally, we arrive at action 5, follow through. Accountability absolutely does not end with a single conversation. You can't just drop your direct request and walk away, crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Accountability means ensuring commitments actually happen.
You must persistently follow up until the agreed-upon action is fully executed. Maintain that momentum. Keep pushing forward. Sometimes it honestly just takes a little persistent drive on a day-to-day basis to make sure things don't slip again. Basically, don't stop until the project is a reality.
Let's look at that accountability loop just one more time. Commitment, missed, address, agree, action, follow up. Notice how each step naturally reinforces a trusting environment when you do it respectfully. You aren't attacking anyone, you're simply managing the workflow. This loop is exactly how highly effective professionals communicate. They don't let issues fester. They cycle through this loop efficiently and politely.
So, returning to our original story, let's rewrite it using what we've just learned. Tuesday arrives, and the deadline is missed. But this time, instead of avoiding it, you address it immediately, using specific, objective facts. Then on Wednesday, because you were direct and respectful, you actually receive the delayed work. And look what happens on Friday. The team successfully finishes on time. Addressing that Tuesday deadline immediately prevents the much larger team-wide disaster.
Early intervention saves the team and the project. Holding someone accountable isn't some selfish act or a personal attack. It's an essential component of being a great teammate. It proves that you care about the team's common purpose more than your own temporary comfort.
So the very next time someone misses a deadline and you feel that familiar urge to just stay silent, ask yourself this. Are you really protecting the relationship, or are you simply postponing a harder conversation?